Welcome to Don't look at the screens. It's us. Okay. Welcome to Lessons and Blessings. It's
Hello.
It's your boy. AJ is obviously not here. I don't know where he's at actually. He might be playing pickleball. I don't know.
He's being fake.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but when y'all see him in the street, send him an email straight up.
Let him know we're disappointed in him.
Factual statements. But yeah, it's your boy. And I'm here with my girl.
Oh. My name is Katie Richardson. Hello. Glad to be here. Is that all you want me to say?
Say whatever you feel like saying.
I am a retreats coordinator at Camp Shoye, and I've been there for about a month, and I really love it. It's been really great.
What's the best thing about it?
I think being able to serve other people in a capacity that I'm able to do really well, but also seeing the fruits of my labor as the weekend is coming, and like being able to see the people there and enjoying their time. I think that's one of the coolest things about my job.
Yeah. Who do you hate the most? Don't answer that. You're like, well, actually, I have 3-4 people that I actually don't like right now.
Ooh.
She was like, I'm glad you stopped me because she had the clip locked and loaded. She was like, I'm ready. She was like, I'm ready, y'all.
Yeah.
Watch out for her.
Actually, I wasn't. I don't really think I hate anybody.
That's good. A month in, that'd be a little bit too quick. I give it 90 days.
Oh, well, that's how long my review is. That's how long I have until my employee review. So it's great.
You're 90 days and you'd be like, I don't think you can hate anybody. I think you can hate anybody, but I think you choose not to hate people. You probably have people you just like, I'd rather not be around you. But
someone last night asked me, he's like, do you ever stop smiling? And I was like, oh, yeah. And she was like, oh, okay.
Immediately, he's like, I've never smiled before.
I was like, oh, yeah, I do.
Like,
and then I just...
He doesn't want to see it? It's like, just...
Stone cold. And she was like, because I asked my boss that the other day, and he was like, no, not really. And I was like, you got two very different answers. But
yeah,
I definitely do. I don't smile all the time. I have a very bad RBF, in my opinion.
I don't think it's true.
I think it is.
I've never been like, oh, like, what's wrong with you? But obviously, guys, when she's around me, she can't help but smile. So, I mean... Yeah,
I was going to say, like, 99% of the time, like, I'm just, like, happy to be around you.
Yeah,
so.
You're just so glowy. So radiant. Like a little sunshine, sunflower. Yeah.
That was nice.
Receive that.
I do.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
So it's actually going to be just a test, but you know what? Might as well just keep yapping.
Okay.
Just keep yapping. What's your deepest, darkest secret? You don't have to answer that, but if you want to, go ahead.
Do I have one? I feel like I'm very open. Like, I don't feel like... I don't know. I don't feel like there's anything that, like, I, like, don't tell people about. I don't know. There's something I don't, like, always openly advertise. I used to have mice as pets when I was a kid.
Mice? What were their names?
Petunia and Daisy.
How old were you?
I think I was, like, 12, 13.
That's valid age. You'd be like 17. I'm like...
Red flag. I'm sorry, but we're over.
We're going to have a review, okay? A little over 90 days, but we're going to have a review straight up. I've always wanted an ant farm. I still want an ant farm so bad.
I want to help you.
Like, legit, that back wall right there. Imagine...
You could literally sit in your room all day and just be fascinated by them.
I would sit there with food and a beverage.
He'd be set.
I would just watch
the
them
entire day.
mine the soil, make their tunnels, establish a hierarchy, see potential mutiny, see somebody get jumped and tossed. Do you know ants don't have funerals?
I think I did. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. They just take their dead and put them in the trash pile. Kind of tough. Have some studies done to see if they actually have emotions. They don't know yet. But
well, it kind of makes sense that they don't, because they don't have funerals.
Yeah, that'd be kind of tough. They had funerals with no emotions. Like, here you go, just something that we're supposed to do. I don't know why we're doing it, but we're just doing it.
Yeah, it's a part of our nature.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about ants. Okay, this is what it is about ants. I knew.
Tell us.
They can carry up to 6 times their body weight.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So I remember having a very heated discussion where I'd rather fight a baby-sized bear, a baby-sized full-grown bear, or a human-sized ant. I'm like, I'm fighting a baby-sized bear all day because a baby-sized full bear. Don't get me wrong, it's strong. It's tiny, little, very aggressive bowling ball. A human-sized ant, cooked. Like this ant, is probably 6'2", 220. What's 6 times that? 1240? No, something like that. Over 1,000 pounds.
I don't know.
It can carry over 1,000 pounds on every piece of his body. Head, shoulders, knees, toes.
Come on now.
I don't want no part of that. I'm good. Then chompers get to chomping. I've been bitten by ants before.
Wait, the what get chomping?
Them chompers be chomping. Yeah, I've been bitten by ants before. Last week.
On your arm?
Yeah, they attacked me. How dare they?
Those stupid cookies.
I had some cookies in my backpack. I was playing pickleball. And I didn't see my backpack.
Playing pickleball, not hanging out with me.
Girl, I don't know where you were. Where were you?
I don't know.
I'm like, where were you then? I don't even know where you were. For real, where were you?
I think it was at home. What day was that?
Had to be Saturday night.
Yeah, no, I had just gotten home from work because I worked Saturday,
right.
and I was like, oh, maybe I can see him. No, he's playing pickleball. It's fine. Be with your friends. It's healthy.
Yeah. And that's the talk of this episode. We are not going to be overly, what's the word I want to use? Consumed by our significant other. There needs to be some boundary. There needs to be some give and take. Because there's some people who like spend every single waking moment with each other. There are some who don't spend this time at all. And there's the holy ones, the saved ones that's in between. So that's where we are.
You think so? Why do you think we're there right now?
I mean, I like it. Because it's just going to sound bad, but I don't want to spend every single moment with you. No. Like, we're not married. I'd be like, yo.
No.
And we get really annoyed really fast.
There's no covenant here yet.
But we would get to know each other really quick. But I think it'd be a good thing, though. Because you got to get to see, okay, you know what? This actually really pisses me off about you. I used to like this, but I don't like that you do that anymore.
Stop.
Or I used to hate that.
Why
you
are you
did
breathing
this.
that way?
Stop breathing, bro.
Yeah. Just hold your breath for 5 minutes. Give me a break.
Why are you blinking right now? My eyes are dry. Ugh. Red flag. Like what?
Why stop eating? Just stop. Like
stop.
just
Okay, I'm gonna starve.
Yeah.
Good.
Because
Thanks.
sometimes.
Thanks.
You're welcome. We're in a healthy spot, right?
I say so. Look, see, that's conflict resolution right there, brother and sister. Or if you identify something else, it's on you. But that look was crazy. Forgot you're on camera.
What?
You see, you forgot you was on camera. She was like, "Ooh." Do you like being behind the camera?
It's not bad.
Wait, in front of the camera, not behind the camera. In front of the camera.
Either way, I'm fine. I think for me it depends more so like on who's taking the pictures, like if I'm comfortable with them or not. If I'm not, then I feel super awkward and I don't. I'm like, can we stop? Turn it off. Abort mission. Turn it off. Yeah. It's just not as enjoyable. But if it's like someone like you or my sister, it's fine because like I know you both and I feel comfortable with both of you. But if it's like a photographer, it's not my favorite. Yeah. Because I just feel awkward. But then there's also the other side of the coin where it's like, I don't know you at all. So why would I like
pose for your picture?
Like why would I feel awkward?
Yeah, never mind.
Because like I have nothing to quote unquote like lose. You're just photographing me. Yeah.
It's literally your job. You'll see these, send them to me and delete them. So we hope. Hopefully.
But I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about it, I guess. It really just depends on who's taking the picture.
That's valid.
You like being in front of the camera, though.
You put a camera in front of me, I just forget how to act. I'm not lying. I don't know if it's the guy in me, the black in me, the combined of the two. I just put a camera in. I'm gonna act up. I'm gonna cut up immediately. I'm just like, hit him with the, yeah, you know who it is. You don't know who it is. Like, I'm not famous. You don't know who it is. I love when people say, you know who it is. Like, bro, no, we don't. We actually don't know who you are.
No.
I was gonna ask you something, but I completely forgot. What was I supposed to ask?
The amount of times that happens to both of us is actually kind of ridiculous.
Because I'm gonna tell you why I think I have a theory. If I'm about to ask you something and I'm actually listening to what you say, I forget about what I'm about to ask you, because if I'm thinking about what I'm asking, I'm not really listening to you. And so if it's really, really important, it's like right there. I'm like, okay, ask this question, ask this question, ask this question.
You'll
Hear everything
remember.
you're saying. But if it's not that important, it's just gonna be like, huh? What?
It's a great face.
Huh?
You should look directly at the camera and give him the full effect.
It's like, huh? Huh? It's your brain. You're there and you lose all emotion. Huh? Just like that. It's perfect.
It's great.
Yeah. I don't think...
That happens to me too. Like when I was at my staff retreat this week, the first day they were giving Devo, I was thinking about the Devo I was going to give the next day. And so I didn't pay attention to anything he was saying. Because I was like getting so like worried about my Devo, because there's like 55 people in that room that I like hardly know at all. So it was kind of intimidating. So I was there, but I was not there. So it happened. I mean, I think everyone does that.
No, for sure. So I think the viewers would like to know who liked who first. And the answer was her. She liked me first.
It was me. I did like you first. Well, I think I thought you were cute. I don't think I necessarily liked you necessarily. But I was like, oh, this is a fine man.
Oh.
This is very, very, very attractive. But then we walked out of the house and you started talking about your car that you named Sheila. And I was like, oh, knocked him down a peg, because I think people that name their cars are really weird. So.
I think it's the opposite. If you don't name your car, then what are you doing? You don't actually care about your car.
I think it shows more in the way you care for your car, not necessarily what you call it.
Tomato, tomato.
Anyways, I liked him first.
Only reason I'm gonna say that you didn't think it was just attraction, you liked me, because you was trying to slide in on me.
No, I was.
And I caught it immediately.
You did, and then you ghosted me on purpose.
Yep. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna justify it this time. I'm not about ghosting unless you're in like something abusive or toxic. Cut it off cold turkey. They don't need to hear from you again.
Right.
But in this situation, I just moved back from Kansas. My mental state was horrendous. My spiritual life was horrendous. I'm like, I don't need a female friend right now.
No, and I knew that. So I was like...
Yeah, actually, you didn't know that.
No, I remember hearing you say that like a week or two before, like I tried texting you.
Interesting.
But I was like, I was partly doing that just to kind of test the waters and like see like how receptive you would be to me, just me. It wasn't necessarily because like I want to date him right now. It was just kind of to see how receptive you were going to be, and then you stopped answering me. So
yeah, you came on really quick. You asked me too many questions. I was like,
I don't even remember what I said.
You're just asking. Like, it wasn't anything like crazy. Like what? Like, oh, like, what's your favorite food? Like, what do you like to eat? Like, where you want to go? So it wasn't like that. It was just I can't remember what you hit me up for, but answered the question, and then the question started. I was like, I know what this is. I don't need a female friend. I'm like, Katie's too nice for me to tell her I don't want to be a friend. So I just gotta be honest. I was like, I don't need female companionship right now.
No, you didn't.
The Lord was doing surgery on me.
He was, and
deep surgery.
He was being kind to just ghost.
Yeah.
It was the right move.
But I don't encourage it.
No.
And I own the decision that I made. But
honestly, it's kind of like one of those like hee hee ha ha funny things though. It's like he ghosted me on purpose, but then like,
and when people say it, it's like, oh, you ghosted. I'm like, yeah.
But then it was like 5 months later, he was like, "You want to be friends?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I want to be friends."
It wasn't just out of the blue now. It wasn't just like 5 months later. I'm like, all right. So actually, remember when I didn't respond? I'm responding now. It wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. We got put on the same serve team and we're doing like group stuff. So I was like, well, if we're doing group stuff together every week, we might as well get to know each other. And
so smoothie.
I mean, that was just legit. I was like, well,
no, it was.
I was like, well, if I don't know nothing about you, then we're not gonna be good leaders together.
Yeah.
And then obviously she fell in love really quick. She was head over heels.
Hold on.
Yes, she was head over heels. Having dreams. Yeah.
I think you've been
in a shrine.
Can I finish? Dear God. Okay. I don't even know all the things you just said because I'm flabbergasted.
Bamboozled.
Yeah. Bean boozled.
Bean boozled.
That's a game. The jelly bean. Yeah.
Oh,
jelly bean.
Interesting.
Anyways, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
See, what was I going to say?
I was saying you had a shrine in me in your room.
I didn't actually.
Oh, okay.
That's false information.
No, rumors are dispelled.
The rumors are in fact not true.
Breaking.
No. I don't know. I wouldn't. Do you think we were in love with each other the first time we were dating?
No.
I don't think I was either. I think I was starting to love you, but I don't think I was like infatuated.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So long story short, we dated and we broke up for 6 months. We dated for what?
We dated for 2 months, maybe.
I'm not gonna. We say 2 because that's when you officially asked. I asked you, but at that point I was like, I'm gonna ask you for formality. I'm gonna ask you for formality. I am doing what the contract tells me to do.
The contract.
But if I had to put a date on it, it was probably sometime in like March. Yeah. April, March.
I think it was April.
Early April.
Because
April, March, June, then July. So it was like 4 months.
Yeah. Because I remember like the night you invited me over to come to your house, it was like 2 weeks after you were like, I think I would wait a while to introduce anyone to my parents. And you're like, hey, you want to come over? And I was like, huh? I was like, you just said like a week ago or 2 weeks ago that you wanted to wait for me to meet your family. And then we sat on the couch for like 20 minutes and your parents asked me questions and then we went, did we watch, I think we watched like a movie or something.
I don't know.
But I was like, okay, cool. We're doing this now.
Yeah, sick. It's like, right. Sick, brother. Sick.
What's your POV from our 4 months that we were together?
My POV, that we weren't ready. We weren't ready.
I think we wanted to be, but we like deep down we both knew we weren't.
Yeah, it's kind of like I think if you have to be honest, it's a bit like a fear thing. It's like I don't want her with nobody else. It's like I don't want him with anybody else. It's like we might as well just date because if it works out, it works out. But
Yeah.
And don't ever do that. Don't ever do that.
No.
If you know, talk to that person and let them know. Like that is not it, because people get hurt in the process. And she got hurt in the process by me. Yes, I said it. I own it.
He did. Yep, he broke up with me.
Now the breakup was justified, like 100%. It was going to happen regardless, eventually. But the way I went about it,
very bad.
We're at Freddy's. I almost ruined Freddy's for her. She almost had PTSD at Freddy's.
I think I've only been back to Freddy's maybe like
once, twice,
3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Since then. I just don't really crave it though. I'd much rather have Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But
back to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breakup was totally. I was like, know what? That's what I need to do, I think. And I don't know what happened. I had no sense of reason. I pretty much attacked her character for like 15 minutes.
Yep.
And that was that. And that was that.
And then we got up and he was like, but I think we can still be friends. And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? And then I was nice enough to give him a side hug. And then I got my car and I literally could not.
You hyperventilated.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't even talk. Like, I called my mom and my sister and I called my best friend. And I was like, I literally, like, I'm not even home. Like, I can't even, like, I can't drive right now. Because it was so out of the blue. And it was, like, so unexpected. I was like, this is my life right now. And then we both healed. And then we, bless you. Then we found each other. Well, I didn't really lose each other, but we weren't, like, talking. It was maybe, like, once a week or two that we would, like, text, if that.
Barely.
Because we would see each other at church, and that was it.
And we didn't even talk at church. It was like, oh, what's up? Hey.
Yeah.
Being polite.
Yeah, we were being cordial.
Because one thing we said was like, we don't want it to be awkward for everybody else because we have a bunch of the same friends and everybody's like, oh my gosh. The funny thing though in that is people like, I didn't even know y'all were dating. Like, that's the funniest part of, well, mission accomplished, because we're not here at church to date each other. We're here to serve. And so, and be used for the Lord. So that, kudos. High five from across the room. Yeah. That one's like, good. That
was one of the funnier parts of our breakup. People were like, you were dating? I was like, we sure were. And then it was funny because, like, everyone could tell when we were, like, starting to talk again because we were, like, around each other more. They were like, what's happening?
Now, the funniest one was Whitney. This is right after you had dyed your hair. Mm-hmm. And we were at their house for, I guess, lead team hangout or something.
Yeah.
And we were just talking again. And, like, just small talk. And then Wendy, after you walked away, Wendy was like, so when you gonna stop flirting with Katie and ask her out again? I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
I remember you telling me that.
I was like, I'm not flirting with her. She's like, as if anything, she's flirting with me. Like,
oh, you trying to blame me?
She flirting with me. She's like, what's going on? I was like, nothing is going on. But at this time, you didn't know this, but so go back timeline. This is 2023. In February, it was on Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. I was on a walk, and I was doing this challenge called 75 Hard, and I was going on walks every day.
Walks.
And I would use that time to pray and talk to God. And it's Valentine's Day. It's like, you know what? This is the first time I could actually say, like, I'm not looking for anybody. I'm content. And I don't want nobody, God. It's me and you. We good. I promise you, like, not a minute later, he goes, oh, Katie's going to be your wife. I was like, Katie? Wife?
Wait. Who? What did he say?
He said, Katie's gonna be your wife. I was like, I don't know what Katie. I don't know who Katie is. Like, what are you talking about?
Denial.
And I was like, bro, this came out of left field. Like, God, you gonna say something? Crickets. I'm like, you can't just pop in and pop out like that, bro. I mean, you can, it's God, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And I was like,
it's kind of wild to just pop in, say that, and then leave.
And I was like, bro, I don't know nothing about this girl, really. Like, we just started becoming friends. Mm-hmm. And so I had this information in the back of my mind the whole time. I was like, there's no way, like, this is actually gonna happen. Because, like, the first time I'm actually content, you pop out and say that. Because he's never spoken to me about anybody I've dated before. It's always been like, oh, I'm gonna choose this person. There's a reason. Oh, let him know. Stand on business. And so I was holding information. And even if we broke up, I was just like, God, if you say this is legit, like, it'll happen regardless, because I knew he was leading me to, hey, we need to part ways and to use that to work in your heart and work in my heart in ways we need it. And so in that breakup time, I was going through my hiding season, and then when I finished mine, you stepped into one. And God was telling me about how you were going through a hiding season. You didn't know what was going on, but God was giving me information about you. And I'm like, why are you telling me about her? Like, we're not together. And I remember
that because we were at Freddy's. Freddy's was redeemed when we got ice cream, and we were talking about it.
Yeah, and because we at this group, she was talking about how she just had a lot of different things going on, how she didn't feel close to her friends and felt isolated and all this stuff. And I was just like, oh, I know what that is. I know exactly what's happening. And I was praying about it, and God was like, yeah, she's in the hiding season. I was like, oh, that's crazy, but why you telling me? Like, why you telling me? Why you not telling nobody else? Why you ain't telling her girlfriends? You know, like, they can talk to her about it, but then he just always allowed me to have, like, eyes to see you, even when you didn't feel seen, which I thought was like really kind of him to do that. I was kind of not like I'm in the back of the corner, you know, it's kind of watching around the corner like, what is Katie doing? Like, what is she doing? It's just being able to know when different things were going through your mind and knowing exactly what they were. It was really weird because God, again, has never spoken to me about like that about anybody else. And I remember when I approached you about it, you were like, how did you know? And I almost didn't tell you. I almost like, it's just a hunch. I was like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, like God told me, like, why? I knew why, because if that's what he spoke before and he's telling me this and it's lining up, I'm like, okay, everything is getting a little fishy now, guy. Like, what's happening with that? And so then you go through your hiding season and all that jazz, and then we go on a mission trip to LA. Mm-hmm. You're sick as a dog. But the funniest part of the whole trip, though, is Hallmark movie worthy material right here, right? We were not really on talking terms like that for real. Still, like we had a few like one-on-ones, but other than that, it was nothing like, oh, like we're talking again. We're like really good friends again. Yeah. We're cordial at this point.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like 5 a.m. in the airport at Bush at Hobby. Everybody got their tickets. Everybody's saying their seat number. I said my seat number, and she goes, "Ugh, I don't want to sit next to him." And my mind, I didn't click in my mind that my seat was next to her. And I just thought, bro, that was rude. Like that was unnecessary. I was a little salty at that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. And I was like,
I get it.
I was like, that was unnecessary comment. I'm like, that's petty. Whatever. Whatever. And so time passes, we have regular food and all this stuff. I'm about to board the plane, and she goes on before I do because she's in an early boarding group. And mind you, we didn't buy our own tickets.
We did not.
The church bought our tickets.
We did not.
And so everybody's getting on the plane. I'm like one of the last people to board, and it's like one person behind me. And I see everybody. I'm like, oh, I'm seeing Barbara. I'm seeing this person. I'm seeing Ray. I'm seeing all these people. I'm seeing Hope and all these people. I'm like, where Katie at? And I'm trying to walk further back to the plane. I was like, okay, she got to be, because I had some people in front of me. Like, she got to be like on one of these few rows in front. No, don't see nobody. I'm like, I peek around the lady in front of me, and I see you in the very back. I check my ticket. I'm like 34, 35, 36, 34. Then I'm like 36. And there's one seat next to me. I'm like, there's no freaking way. Mm-hmm. So in that moment, I'm like, God, either this is about to be the most awkward 4-hour plane ride to LA ever, or it's just going to be the best 4-hour plane ride ever, because we have not talked legit in like 4 months. And before the trip, I was like, you know what, God, please let me like be there to serve the people of LA and not try to make a move on Katie. Mm-hmm. And he honored that. I was locked in, and we talked the whole time.
I don't even know about what. I think we're just
catching up about everything, and then Laura made a way. The third lady who was sitting there left to go sit with her husband somewhere else in the plane, and that's when you start to get really sick. I was like, you need to sleep. I don't want to sleep. Like, you need to sleep. And you're probably mad that he's like, oh, I hate that he's right, but I don't want him to tell me that I need to sleep.
No, okay. I was trying to deny sleep because I wanted to keep talking to you.
Really? That's what it was?
Yes. Like I had missed our conversations. So I didn't want to go to sleep. But I only had like 3.5 hours of sleep because I had to stay up late finishing packing, and then had to be up at the crack of dawn so that we could be at the airport at the right time. Yeah. But that's why I didn't want to sleep. It wasn't because I don't sleep on planes. If I need to sleep, I'll fall asleep. That's because I didn't want to stop talking to you.
I was like, girl, you're getting sick. Go to sleep.
Regardless.
And then she tried to go to sleep and couldn't go to sleep. And so I put my earphones in. I was like, hey, put one of my earbuds in. You'll fall asleep. Like, I guarantee. She was like, at first she's like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, trust. Like, I guarantee you'll fall asleep. She's like, whatever. And I gave her earphones. I played I know exactly which classical music to play. It wasn't it was the right tone. It wasn't too loud. It wasn't too sharp. It was too sharp. It stimulates the mind. It was just calm enough. And then she was mouth open, talking, drooling.
It was not open.
Yeah, it's tough.
Was it open?
Tough scene. Nah, it wasn't open.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
If it was, I'd have took a picture. That'd been funny though. I'd have saved that one for later. And if we never got back together, I just deleted it. But
you wouldn't have kept it. Be like, hey, Katie, look, I have this funny picture of you.
Nah. Because we wouldn't get back together. I mean, I don't know how if we actually would have been friends or not.
Yeah.
It would have been cool, but I don't think it would have been like, oh,
it wouldn't have been easy.
Because point being, going further into the trip, we excellent transitions. Look at that, podcast pros. Wow. We had to write these thank you cards for the pastors that we served under, and I was doing it by myself, right? And then she came out of nowhere and was like, "Oh, are you doing this?" Like, yeah, sure. I'll pull up a chair. And so she's doing her thank you card at the same time. We just start talking, and I don't know how you asked me this question out the blue. I was like,
I was curious.
It threw me off because I was not expecting her to ask that.
I had to know.
And she was like, I said, I got a question for you. It's like, what's up? Do you still find me attractive? I was like, huh?
Okay, I had just dyed my hair blonde like a month, a week or two maybe before that.
It was still very fresh.
It was very fresh. I was like, I'm just curious if he like still thinks I'm attractive or if he's like, ugh, blondes. No. So that's why I asked. Continue.
Still caught me off guard though.
Oh yeah, it was very out of the blue.
I was like, that was not even remotely close to I thought something that she was going to ask me. If anything, I'd have been like, maybe, you talking to anybody? That's what I was thinking the question was going to be. I was like, no, I'm not.
I thought about it, but I was like, we agreed that we would tell each other, out of courtesy for each other because we share the same spaces so often.
Right. And so when you asked it, I was like, oh. At that moment, I was like, she still like me. That's what I meant. That's my brain. I was like, oh, she's still feeling the boy. Okay. Let me ask her back. So I was like, well, yes, of course. The breakup didn't change your beauty. Like, so do you still find me attractive? She's like, yeah. I was like, I know. I know. I see you. I said verbatim. I was like, I know exactly. I'll be catching you looking at me. She was like, yep.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, then we got in a really deep conversation about our family. I started opening about stuff I never thought about before, which is one really weird. I'm like, why am I talking about this with her right now? This is
of all people.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's when I knew. Okay, I'm like, we kind of agree. Like, well, obviously we still have feelings for each other. We're still attracted to each other. It's not like turned it off and let it go.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had went through that process. Like, God, if I'm gonna let this go, if you bring it back, then you can bring it back. But if not, I'm gonna start the process moving on. And obviously, she came back into the life.
I did.
We took it really, really slow. That was what Miss Trip was like October 23. And we're like, you know what? Let's just learn how to be friends again, like legit. And so no rush. And we started dating again in February of this year.
Yeah. Good storytelling.
I actually stayed on point. Usually I'm like side stories and this and this. Oh, wait, what this? All right, now back to what it. It's like, where are we? Like, you know.
I just help you stay focused.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I have not looked anywhere else. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. That's that Cayman Jack. That's what it is. That margarita. What'd you say? How did you pronounce margarita earlier?
My girl Rita.
Yeah, my girl Rita. Next time I go, can I get a my girl Rita? A who? A my girl Rita. With sugar on the rim, please. A my girl Rita.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah. But yeah, so y'all know, y'all dying to know. That's it. That's the story right there. Now we're going on what, 9 months? 8?
Yeah.
9. Is 9 this month or 8 this month?
I think it's
or is it 10?
It's October now, and our day was the 3rd.
Yeah, so it's 8 months.
No, it's 9.
I can't do math.
Wait.
February. This is 10th month.
April,
8.
June, July, August, September.
10th month. 2nd month. 9 month.
Yeah.
Huh?
9.
Big 9. Happy anniversary. 9 months. Woo. So yeah, that's that.
It's a cool story because I think, like, I don't even remember if I had prayed this prayer like when we had broken up or if it was before, but I saw like this girl on Instagram that I followed like gave God like a code word that like only her husband would use to like describe her. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing because I'm very curious to know like if I've already met him, if I haven't met him yet. And I picked like a really random word. I picked the word lovely. Like I never, like, I'm like, people never say this word. especially men. Like, I feel like men never say that. So I was like, God, that's my word. And Sheldon says that all the time. Like, all the time.
Literally for nothing.
Yeah.
I usually use it sarcastically though. Mm-hmm. If it's like something happens and you can be like, oh, that's just lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll use it to describe or like respond to like an outfit or something that I'm wearing, but like you say that word all the time, and I don't care if it's used like sarcastically or like for real, but that's how I knew, and like that's what God spoke to me, like he's gonna be your husband, is because that was like my little secret thing with the Lord. So
hey, if y'all want to know about the secrets, man, turn to Psalms 25. It says the secrets of the Lord are with those who fear him. And so if you want to know the Lord's secrets, lock in with him and ask him to show you how to view him, how to respect him, but also ask him to show you like what is it that you fear, because like in our relationship there's a lot of things that I didn't know that I feared from past like relational trauma and things of childhood and things I didn't realize that were keeping me from like viewing you the way that God needed me to view you, like to talk to you the way God needed me to talk to you, and just genuinely love you the way I didn't have the capacity for it. I didn't have words for it. 'Cause I remember the moment that I knew, like I was like, okay, like she gotta be my wife at this point, or because this is. So we broke up on a Friday, and the worst part about the breakup is that we broke up on a Friday. We had a youth event, so we had to see each other that night, and with all our friends, and like I only told like 2 or 3 people at that point. And then we had a big party with all our same friends again the very next day that we had planned for months, which was...
That sucked, because it was a pool party.
Yeah, it was a pool party, and the first person I see was her. I was like, this is going to be tough.
And I had a new swimsuit on, and he was like, are you kidding me?
I was like, out of all the events, now you want to wear a new swimsuit. And I was like, that's petty. that's what I was thinking. Whose attention you trying to get? And so that Saturday, and so before that, like on that Friday, I was like, I didn't really feel. I was starting to feel it because I remember after the breakup, I had a tennis lesson that I had to give, and I was starting to feel a little bit of it in my lesson. I'm really close with them, and they're like, "So how's the girlfriend?" I was like, "Oh, we actually broke up today." And I was like, "Oh man, you good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm straight. Like, it's life. It happens." And then as I continue to go, I'll start to feel it, just like little bits of it. I was like, "Man, this kind of sucks already," but I was like, "I gotta stay locked in." And then Saturday happened. After Saturday, I had left early because I was like, man, I can't be here no more. Like, I want to go home. And so I left early. And then Sunday night, I had this crazy experience with the Lord because we were talking about the fear of God, and I didn't understand that. And God had showed me a lot of things from my childhood that was just wild that I didn't remember. And then now Monday, I'm like, well, I need to go apologize to this girl. God's like, yeah, you need to go apologize to her. And thank God, I'm glad that you said yes, because that showed. One of the things that I said about her was that she wasn't strong, and that was one of the strongest things that she did was allow me to come back and apologize, because if she was on the other foot, you wouldn't talk to me. Like, I'm not answering your text. You want to apologize, go apologize to the wall. That's I'll be honest, in that time, that's probably how I responded. And so meet at her house, and it's like, well,
we talked for an hour.
We talked for a solid hour. And I remember at the end of it, I was like, I understand, like, if you hate me and you don't want to like be around me and talk to me, like, I totally get it. Like, I deserve and all this stuff. And you go, you're about to like crying at this point, but you kind of like choke it down.
Yeah.
And you're like, I gotta say this. I'm like, say what? It's like, well, one, you go, I've already forgiven you. 2, I choose to see you the way Jesus sees you, and the way I view you has not changed from before. Most beautiful thing anybody has ever told me before. And like, that rocked me to my core. That's when I realized, I was like, oh bro, you, like, in my mind I was like, you effed up. Like, that's what was going through my mind. That's when it really hit. I was speechless. I was like taken aback, because I have never, like, real life seen like forgiveness take place like that. Like, knowing how I would have reacted, I would not have reacted in that way. Probably.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think I would have got there. But in the moment, like that quick, I was just like, yo, that's crazy. Like this. It got me. She's not my somebody. She's not my wife. She's somebody's wife. But that's wifey material right there, dog. Like, because that's. And I remember admitting this later. Like that's the true strength I didn't realize. Like I was valuing like worldly strength and strength from like just like worldly wisdom and like physically and all these different things. I'm like those things matter, but they don't matter as nearly as much as okay, how quick am I to forgive? How much do I love? How do I have peace? Do I have joy? Do I treat people well? All these different things. And you do all that. And so I remember as we were walking out, like, I mean, we hugged for the last time, and you were like, I said I'm gonna miss you. You said I already do. Oh my God, I could have dropped dead. I could have dropped dead at that point, and that's when the emotions really kicked in, and I was like, that's when I really felt it for real. I was driving home. I called Josh. I was like, bro, it hurts so much. Man, I don't want to do this. Like, oh my gosh. And I could start crying thinking about it because man, that was tough.
That was a time.
That was tough. But God redeems.
Yeah.
I got some tears falling right. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got some. I got like 2. Oh man.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking to my parents about it because I'm still at home with them, and I was like, I don't know who I would be if I wasn't able to forgive him. Like, I would not be following Jesus the way that I know and the way that I think I am if I was not able to forgive him.
That's a message right there.
Like, and in that too, like, it's just not worth it to hold on to like that pettiness and that unforgiveness because it just festers and it hinders you from the Lord and getting closer with him. It hinders you from hearing his voice. It hinders you from loving people the way you're supposed to. And eventually, like, you're going to become hardened in your heart because you don't forgive, and it's just going to be a repetitive thing, and it's going to happen over and over and over again, and you're not going to forgive anybody, and you're just going to be like that mean old grouchy person that lives on the end of the street. I didn't want to be that because I know I'm better than that, and I know that God calls me to be better than that. But I also wanted to forgive you because you meant so much to me, and you still do. But it's just like, it's kind of like a revolving door of like who would I be? Like, I wouldn't be true to myself. And I also, like, I don't want to be bitter. I don't like being bitter. I don't like being rude. I don't like those negative, like, emotions and feelings. It's just like, it wasn't worth it. In the grand scheme of things, yeah, you hurt me and you said mean things. But, like, it wasn't worth it. I didn't want to be that person. So,
yeah.
It honestly was much easier to extend forgiveness like 3 days after it happened than like 2 months after it would have happened. Because like if I waited 2 months, then I could have like kept a racket list of like, oh, but he said this and then he did this.
Yeah,
and then,
worse and worse and worse.
It gets worse. And so I think for me, just saying that to him, and like you have to mean it though.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say it, because if you say it, it's one thing, but like your actions are what really show. And so it just wasn't worth it to me to hold on to that. And I think deep down, I believe that God still had more for us. And so I wasn't ready to let go.
Yeah.
At least in that way. Like, I knew I needed to let go to a degree,
Yeah.
but it wasn't fully time to let go of you yet, and I didn't. So
yeah. Praise. Nah, I think you said something that's really, really, really pivotal, because if you would not have forgiven me, I would have never forgiven myself. And I would have been like, say I get into another relationship, I probably been world's best boyfriend. Hey, I'm making up for everything that I didn't do. My last one is over the top, and like,
yeah.
That probably push whoever that was away, because I'm trying to strive for what I'm trying to work for. Definitely, like, relationships take work for sure, but like, that's forgiveness is a 2-way street, man. Like, Mostly it's for the person, like the individual yourself, but you don't know what that forgiveness does. It releases the other person from, and it disarms them. I was like, well, she's forgiven me. I can choose to beat myself up, but and I definitely did for about like maybe a week or two, for sure. Like just working through the emotions, but eventually like, well, I can't go back and undo it. Like what's said was said. What's apologized was apologized. She accepted it, and we're green. I truly have asked God for forgiveness, and He's forgiven me. We're green. Like there's no reason to just keep replaying that over and over. Like you said, like if you would have waited 2 months, the things that I've said, the things you're thinking of, are probably things I didn't say. Like it has been far worse. Oh, I can't believe he said this. Did he actually say this? Or he actually did say this. Yeah. It's just like now your complete perception of me is completely ruined. And and so that's a word right there. I'm gonna have to clip that. That's going on Instagram. They gotta go on Instagram for real. That's a word right there.
Amen.
I don't just apply this to relationship. That's just in general in life.
Yeah.
Because the root of bitterness is Satan's playground. 100%. He loves bitterness and an unforgiving heart. He loves it. Because that's where he can work the best. Yeah. But that's for another episode.
It is.
That's for another episode. But I like this. This is good.
Yeah. This was fun.
Good. I was thinking, I can see us doing this, like, for real.
Yeah. Featured Jackie Hill Perry's coming in hot.
No, we don't want to be them.
No.
They want to be us. I'm playing.
It could be like 2.0 or something.
Nah, we're gonna be us. We're gonna be us.
Hawthorns.
Be our own thing. But yeah, well, that was a good episode. I love you.
Love you.
All right, well, this has been lessons and blessings. Like I said, love y'all. Stay blessed in your day.
Peace.